You have made a great contribution to our district, and we thank you. We are 7 months into this Rotary year. It has absolutely flown by. And, I was thinking 7 months, wow. So that only leaves 5 months in the year. And so I'm going to ask you as an AG to support the clubs, your clubs in your area, however many there are, and try to do that right up to the last minute. Don't quit on June the 1st. Maybe quit on June the 30th if you have to, but stay right with them. And with any help that they may need, please continue to be involved with them right up to the end of the month of June. And that'll be a great thing. We want to finish strong as we possibly can. So I appreciate you. It's been fun this year working together, and we've got 5 more months. So let's keep doing the things that we're doing, and I'm grateful. Secondly, if you need to contact your clubs again, please do so. And by, say, June the 15th, encourage your club presidents to work with the goals. We're still not as sharp with the goals as we need to be. And I've told you before, I think that for whatever reason, RI is huge on this one point. Not that it's not important, but it's just about at the top of the level of what RI is concerned about. And so we need to continue trying to get clubs to get goals. And so please help folks who may not know how to do that or who haven't done it. And that would be a great help. We have the opportunity, and I forget which meeting we had, Howard, but you said correctly that this is a year when any kind of club can get the Rotary citation. The Rotary citation is the thing that says this club did what they were supposed to do. And we can do that this year. For example, if you started out the year and you said, we're going to put down our goal for membership, that we would have a net gain of 5, just as an example. In the middle of June, you can go back into those goals, and currently you have 3, we'll say, and you can go back in there and you can change that 5 goal to a 3, and voila, you have reached that membership goal. It almost seems like it's not fair, but those are the new rules. And so let's take advantage of something very positive, and let's try to get as many clubs as possible to get the Rotary citation. And that would be a great thing. As you visit with your club presidents, talk goals to them. And that would be a great help. Around the middle of June, I wish that you would send to me, and you can just email me, put down the 5 clubs or 4 clubs, 3 clubs, whatever it is in your area, and give them a letter grade, A through F. And then make a couple of positive comments, things that you thought were strengths. Maybe that's a good way to say it. And then a couple of areas where that club needs help. That club needs to improve. I will receive those because I've had a chance to visit with, haven't finished yet, but almost all the clubs. I'll add my input to that. And then we can put that together. I send that to RI. I also send that to Bruce. And that will help him to know how clubs are doing, or at least how you felt and I felt the clubs are doing. So I think that'll be a good thing. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be very brief, just the clubs, letter grade, 2 good things, 2 places where they need improvement. And that would be a great help to us. Keith, is he on the call tonight?
I don't see Keith.
Don't know. He sent me a middle of the year, and it was very good. It was It wasn't long, but it was the kind of thing I'm talking about, and it's very helpful. The fourth thing out of 5 that I wanted to say tonight is that COVID-19 has been a pain. Rotary International's position is each club can decide for themselves what they want to do about meeting in person. And that's very important because we have debates, and debates are good, but we have to remember that it is the club, it'll be the board of the club who gets to decide if we're going to meet or if we're not going to meet. So we've got to allow those people to do that. We want to be careful about telling people you're not doing what you ought to do, because that's not true. It's their decision. And so as we get back, hopefully with the vaccines coming out, we're hoping that things are going to improve very quickly. And but it's still up to the club. Don't make the mistake of telling somebody you need to start meeting, because that's not true. And it's the opposite of what Rotary International is saying. And I hope COVID-19 moves on down the road very quickly. And so let's just hope that happens. And finally, the Taipei Rotary International Conference in June has been canceled. You've probably heard that. 30,000 people were already registered to go to that conference. And geez, I don't know, they would have wound up with 40 or 45,000 people, I guess. But that was a big decision for RI. This only happened 2 days ago. And you can just imagine the decision, the guy that had to, which would be Holger Kanak, and the trustees, of course, but the board, I mean, but they made the decision to cancel Taipei. And that was a huge decision, and it's what a nightmare it's going to be to refund money and all those kinds of things. But that has happened. Also, along the same line, regretfully, we were planning to go with the Northern District in Alabama, 6860, and we were going to go to Perdido Beach, Perdido Resort on the beach for our district conference. But it's not going to happen for the same reasons that you understand. And they needed money down, and we didn't want to put money down because if COVID gets worse, then I don't think people should come. And so we were in a really tight bind. Lee Weinman, who's the DG of the Northern District, we were in a tough spot. And so we thought, well, we can't put money down, a lot of money down, which would be would not be refundable. So I hate that. I really do, but that is not going to happen. And so on Saturday, June the 19th, in Fairhope, we are going to have, I hope, a Rotary Day, and it's going to be short. The reason it's going to be short is because we're going to have it outside. I was thinking, what's the biggest negative about coming to any kind of get together? And the answer is with the COVID-19, of course. And we'd be able to meet outside, and we'd have picnic, and we'd have music, and we would have the award ceremony. Every year you've sat through award ceremonies, and oh, by the way, your club presidents, not your elects, but your club presidents are going to receive within a week the awards that we are offering. And we hope that clubs will nominate people for those awards. So you might get a call from a president saying, what is this all about? But you probably already know what that is. And so we will get those names, make those nominations. Dell, the DGN, is going to be responsible for that. And so I hope that we can get together for a day and have a good time. And that'll be very special, I think, since we have not been able to get together for anything in the last 7 months. Thank you to, oh, and by the way, that day, that special day would be on June the 19th, would be no cost to any AG, because you guys have worked hard, and we haven't spent any money. We've got money, and So I would love to spend that on you, and so there'll be no charge to you to come to the June 19 get together. I want to thank you, AGs, who are rotating out of the AG position. We appreciate it. It's not a lifetime term. Thank you for the work that you have done. I want to thank you for the brand new people who are coming in. How many, Bruce? How many of those are there?
Was that the new ones?
Brand new, yeah, brand new.
I believe it's 4. I'm gonna take a peek at those. I'm gonna pop the pictures up.
Okay, all right. But we appreciate those folks who are willing to come in and participate as an AG. And some of you are going to stay and come back July the 1st with Bruce. Thank you for doing that, because many of you have done it for several years. You know what you're doing. He can trust what you're doing, and it'll be a great help to him and a great help to the district. And so I thank you for you guys who will start over on July the 1st with a brand new group of club presidents. And that will be
Jerry,
be a good thing.
Jerry,
Yes.
Sam raised his hand. He's got a question.
Yes, Sam.
I did not raise my hand. I do not have a question.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Well, this is another Sam.
I have a question, Jerry.
Yes, Ken.
June 19th, there are 2 things about that date that I just wanted to bring up. One, that's Father's Day weekend.
Ah, okay.
And,
That's helpful.
and 2, June 19th is Juneteenth, which after George Floyd became a much bigger deal. And
Yep.
so in 2021, it might be a little bit recognized a little greater than it has in the past.
Okay.
So those are 2 things to kind of throw out there on that date to at
Okay.
least be aware of.
Ken, thank you. We are 5 months away from that. And so there's nothing in cement. The place we want to go is an amphitheater. It's got a huge field, bigger than a football field, or as big as a football field. So we'll be able to spread out, but we certainly want to try to avoid conflicts. So we may make that change. So thank you. That's good input. Anybody else have a question? I want to thank Howard Eddy, who has been an AG for about 27 years. And he is coming back as the coordinator for AG. So Howard, thank you for doing that again. I appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
And you'll have a good year with Bruce as the district governor. And now, Mr. Walsh, you are going to say a word, I believe, about the Passport Club.
All right. Did everybody get the email I sent out about the club?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, we sent out 337 emails to people listed in DACDB as terminated. That was last Friday, the 22nd. I sent that out. I've heard from 6 people, 3 people very interested, 3 people not interested. And I had Graham and I talked. I had one existing member, at least that I know of, had received the email. So of course that's just cleaning up DACDB. And if it's not cleaned up, I don't know what else to do. It was just to turn the list. So of the 3 people that responded positively, they indicated to me in the email, 2 of them were because they could not make meetings time-wise. And one person said, for whatever this means, that the club wasn't doing any service projects. So anyway, that's the only feedback that I have. My plan is to send out another letter. If you get any questions from the presidents, there are 2 things that I'd at least urge you to at least convey. That if the club gets started, there will be a bylaw in the club that says the club will not recruit any existing Rotarians. And that maybe the president should look at it as a tool to have in their pocket in the event that a Rotarian comes in and wants to resign because he can't make the meetings or he's financially strapped or whatever the situation may be. The Passport Club may be a good alternative for him. So that's kind of where we are on the whole Passport Club issue. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer. Okay, well,
Thank you, Bob. Doesn't sound like we got any questions, so Bruce, take it away. And we're doing good on time, so.
Well, I'm sure we won't upset anybody if we get through here in a few minutes. But Howard, I said I wasn't going to throw up the slides, but I believe I am, just to reinforce what I'm trying to look at here. So you should be seeing at the top Rotary District 6880 leadership team. And obviously this is for our next year. Most of these individuals up here, Bruce and Dale and Graham and Jerry, you're already familiar with, but in case you missed it, Jim Golson will be the vice chair in case Mr. McNeal is not able to complete his term, then Mr. Golson will be able to step in. So that's a good decision that COG made. I won't spend a lot of time, but there's some new faces this year, probably some new positions. A lot of these positions will be dealing with membership, because I feel like membership is going to be critical. I will be pleasantly surprised if we don't lose quite a few members come June when people start cleaning their rolls. And, you know, a lot of people, for whatever reason, and COVID is certainly an impact on it, will no longer.
Bruce, let me jump in here and just say that as of today, we're down 3%. We started with 2,184 members and we're down 3%.
Right.
So that's where we are today.
I hope I am totally wrong, but regardless if I'm right or wrong, there'll be a tremendous emphasis on membership, because without members, without the dollars that members bring in, Rotary cannot do what it needs to do. So Carla Serhan, with District Government Aid and Special Projects, she'll be working on some membership. Jana Bailey, some of you may have seen the pre-pets the other day, and if this is a repeat, I apologize. But Jana will be District Secretary. Linda is coming back as the Rotary Foundation Chair. Mary Beth Maddox, she's new. She'll be a District Public Image Chair. And when I send her all the materials, all the expectations RI has, and all the training videos, it scared her to death. But I told her we pare it down, that there is life outside of Rotary, work, family, etc. So I had to settle her down to let her know that it will be manageable. I promise there. Wendy, let me move this thing here so I can see Wendy. Wendy Foose will be the district membership chair, and we've got some high hopes for her to get some things going. The new club development, again, some of these positions may be overlapping, and that was the intent. We want to be all hands on deck when it comes to membership. So we'll have Josh Chapman and Skip Dothrow new club development membership. So they'll be working a lot of things. Dixie, she doesn't know what all she's going to be doing yet, but she's going to stroke some of these clubs that are really struggling to try to get back on track. And diversity, of course, is important. RI has been emphasizing diversity for quite a few years. So I've got co-chairs in diversity, Ariel Chavez out of the Mobile Club, and then Vamel Patel out of the Dothan Tuesday Club. They'll be working on some diversity in our membership. All of you know Barry and Club Visioning and Mr. Howard Eddy. Thank goodness he's coming back as Assistant Governor Coordinator. And of course, he's been sharing with you about the changes in RLI. New to the Assistant Governor, some of you may not be aware of it, but out of the Elba Rotary Club, you'll have Sandy Bynum. She sounds like she may have a little fire for Rotary, so I'm excited about that. And I did not know Jennifer Chisholm, but apparently she was a previous Assistant Governor, and Howard seems to be excited that she's coming back, and I am too. So Jennifer Chisholm. Hunter Compton will be new to the Assistant Governor. let's see, I may have the areas here because you guys know the areas quite a bit. Yeah, Hunter's out of Demopolis. He'll be area 1. And of course, all of you know Mr. Huey Hoss Mack out of Central Baldwin Sunset, area 10, and then Mr. Sam Marshall. Thank goodness he's coming back. And Sam, of course, is area 2, and he's the Montgomery Sunset Club. And Mr. Roy McCall comes back as assistant governor, area 11, and of course, Roy is with the Prattville Millbrook Sunrise Club. And then, of course, Ken Robinson, who's with us tonight, out of the Mobile Club, area 9, comes back as assistant governor. And Mr. Keith Rowland, hometown of Orion, Alabama, but he's in the Troy Rotary Club, comes back as assistant governor for area 4. And Michael Smith, the Dothan Tuesday Club, area 8. And Mr. Robert B., or better known as Bob Walsh, area 6. And of course, he's with the Fairhope Club. Robert Greer comes back as polio, Tom Mantraining, and Jericho Wilson, disaster relief. Those folks in the West Shores, Fairhope area know Jericho quite well. He's doing a great job in disaster. Maggie Hammond will be doing Rotary Center for Excellence, and we'll be getting a lot more on that as the weeks come along. And Donna Kelly returning for Ryla, and we certainly hope Ryla gets back on track this next year. Adam Williams, Rotaract, and then because there's a lot of high schools in our district, and there's a lot of opportunities, we'll tag team Leslie Cole and Sal Gray. Leslie is with the Montgomery Club, and Sal with Montgomery Sunrise Club. Hopefully you know that we're bringing back the youth exchange. We're trying to re-energize it. We've got a lot of things going, a lot of things in place, but with COVID, we can't quite make the next move until Mr. COVID settles down a little bit. But Ulrich he's got his committee up and running, and got a lot of paperwork and a lot of things ready. We've joined hands with the South Central Road Exchange Group. And they kind of handle a lot of things for us. Of course, for a small fee, Jerry. Bob Cochran, not only is the assistant governor for, let me find him here, for Area 3, but he also is the Youth Exchange Protection Officer. Bob's got a little legal background, which helps that. And new to the leadership team is Jessica Hoagland. I hope I'm pronouncing it all right, but she's going to have some district 4-way test chairs, some competition there. We want to make sure we got the right person as far as Camp Aspen, and Willis Smithman of the Dothan Club will be having our liaison duties for Camp Aspen. And Andrea Salson, years of experience, District Grant Committee Chair. That's coming up pretty quick, isn't it, Jerry? John Gormley, a drug problem in this district, in this state, in this country is absolutely horrible, destroying a lot of lives. But John Gormley is going to see what the impact he can have in this district with drug prevention. Jimmy Hill and Eric coming back as communication officers. And of course, we got some zone folks that are in our district: Sam Adams, Bob Callahan, Richard Bollinger, all zone individuals. And then, of course, you all know Kathy Hughes' newsletter, and Bob Mills with district finance. So that kind of rounds out our, excuse me, running down the slide here, but let me get the one I'm looking for. So that rounds out our leadership team. Any questions on that?
Let me just say that Kathy Hughes is always asking for clubs to send material to her to put in the newsletter. And so I'm going to make a request that as you see club presidents, encourage them to send pictures of things they're doing in their club to Kathy Hughes. And we'll, if you don't have that address, that email address, we'll get it to you.
Okay. Let me just reemphasize membership. Just one entity in our district will not be responsible for membership, but it'll be all hands on deck, if you will. And as you can see, all of us will need to be involved in membership, kind of get us back up to where we need to be. And without members, without the dollar, we don't do a lot in Rotary. So it's real important that we keep our membership, quality members, but also volume also. And another emphasis that I'll have next year is for youth services. And you see a lot of the regular things, Interact, Rotaract, and RILA. But again, as far as youth is concerned, we'll be working with a 4-way test, speech contest, drug prevention, Rotary Center for Excellence. So, just got a lot of things going there. So, and let me see if I can get rid of this slide here. I will be sending back out a copy of the leadership group, a copy of what I think is the most current list of president-elects. There's several clubs that have not selected their president for next year. There's seems like 2 or 3 that may be repeating as president again because they can't find. There'll be small clubs. It's tough when everybody in the club's been president 2 times. Kind of hard to get them to come again. But that's another reason to improve membership in that club. We did have our secretary training recently. I think that went well, and we sent that recording out to all the secretaries, secretary-elects, and presidents so they could share that with those that were not participating. We do have our pets coming up in March, and we're really working with our incoming presidents to try to participate in pets. Pets will be virtual, obviously, but it'll be Friday afternoon for about 3 hours, and then Saturday morning from about 8 to 12, and then there's some optional things Saturday afternoon. So we're going to really encourage these incoming presidents to participate in that. RI requires it, and if they don't make it, then we got extra duty and extra work to do to get them up to speed. So the more we can get there, the less work we have to do. Howard?
Bruce, on that, it's my understanding they're not having AGI, Assistant Governor Institute, at all. Is that correct?
They are in pets. They are having that. I didn't have it on my note, but they are. I have not got the details on that, but I think it'll be. I don't know if it's Friday evening or Saturday morning, but there'll be a segment for assistant governors. There will be. And as soon as I get some more details, I'll be sharing that.
Okay. And then following along with that, is it your expectation that you would like to have the AGs attend virtually, of course, with pets, or is that not necessary use of their time?
It is not necessary. Some of the things, it just won't be worthwhile to them. Right now, at best I can tell, they're still trying to get the dust to settle. But right now, it looks like the requirement, if you will, is just the assistant governor's section of it. They may be some general things that they're welcome to come in and watch and listen. And then there's some other breakouts that probably would not be beneficial to them.
All right, thank you.
But I'll get that out as soon as I get more information. Any other questions for me?
Bruce. Bruce,
Yes,
is there going to be any breakout session for the areas?
Ken, you were breaking up, so let's try that again.
Are there going to be any breakout sessions which are just the area president-elects with each other?
They will be later on. It nothing to do with the pets that's coming up in March. Nothing there, but we had penciled in that we'll be doing some area meetings, some area activity. We haven't got it all planned out, but you know, the smaller groups along with the AGs for that particular area. So I don't know
Are
if
we
it'll
doing
happen
that before July
or right
1st,
after
or
July. Sir,
are we going to do that before July 1st?
but my hopes are yes, because some of these presidencies have not been solidified yet, if you will. There'll be some coming in real late. So, you know, when we talk about our the club goals and the RI goals and you know, my initiatives, we need to share that with them again and try to reinforce some things. But you know, as far as buying in, if you will, to the president position, it's all over the board. You know, we're all busy. You know, we got life and family, and the list goes on and on. And you know, Rotary is just one component of it. So you know, we have to softly encourage them to do what they need to do for their club. And those individuals that aren't promoting their club and you know, making their club viable and thriving, you know, we really need to work with those guys, because it doesn't matter what condition that school building's in. If you don't have the right teacher inside that classroom, it's not going to happen for that student visit. So the same principle with leadership in any organization. So we you know, got a work to cut out to try to develop that leadership and encourage these guys, men and women. Thoughts, questions?
All right. Hearing none, I'll kind of wrap up. A couple things I just wanted to share with you. I sat in on the pre-pets training and gave 2 presentations. One was on RLI, and the second was, what is an assistant governor? And basically, I wanted you guys to know what I told these presidents-elect. And I said, basically, I assured them that we are not there to mess with their club. We're not over them, that we are there to serve their club, and that if they don't need something, that we will not, you know, be pushing ourselves on them. Although, as you all know, we do sometimes have to do the district governors pass along bad news or ping them about not paying dues or stuff like that. But anyhow, I encouraged them that we were there as a support mechanism. And Bruce had introduced a whole raft of people, as you saw in his PowerPoint. And I also told him that we were the one point of contact, that we didn't expect them to remember who all these people were. But if they had a question, if we couldn't answer it, we would figure out who the right person was and put them in touch with them. So that's what I gave them, the understanding of what our role is. Just as it's nothing's changed. I just wanted you to know that's what they were told. And with regard to RLI, I did give a little quick presentation. There's 2 slides which will be mailed out to you associated with this meeting. But basically, for those of you who I haven't had the chance to share this with, the district governor-elect, district governor nominee, and the past district governor and I had multiple conversations about the state of RLI. This was about mid-COVID, I think. And at the same time, I'm on a committee for the southwestern half of HOA, which is Heart of America. The southwestern half of Heart of America is trying to move to a virtual presentation program for at least the next probably 2 years until COVID is not an issue, recognizing that in addition to that, that online learning is the future. It really is. We've kind of been forced into it, but it's already started in college campuses way before everybody thought of COVID. And so the Sunshine District, which is the same thing as Heart of America, only it's just the states to the east of us, had already been doing this for about 2 or 3 or 4 years. and they have a very squared away program. They select their instructors, they make them audition, and they have learned that just because you're a good in-person presenter doesn't mean you're a good online presenter. And so they have a very squared away program. And so we negotiated a deal to be able to utilize their online stuff, because it really doesn't matter if you're doing it online. It's not critical that you're doing it in district. We haven't done it. We've done classes with 6860. So, but this allows them to take those classes and not have to drive, not have to pay for a hotel, not to have to be away from their family. So I would just encourage you to encourage the presidents and presidents-elect, especially as they're thinking of new officers and people that they're bringing up in their club. There's no excuse now. It's not like there's only one class a year. It's not like they have to drive to Montgomery or drive to Fairhope or drive to Dothan to get the class. And so there's really no excuse for people not to be able to participate in and benefit from RLI. So I just want to encourage you to pass that along to those folks. And lastly, I want to commend Bob. He's worked real hard on this Passport Club. We'll see where it goes. It's an interesting initiative. And hopefully we can drum up some more business and get enough people that at least have a small nucleus who'd be able to do it as a trial run. And also for Ken, I want to thank Ken. He has been, I think he logged off. Ken, are you still here? I think he might have. Okay. He has been just a trooper as far as like communicating stuff, and you all have, but he's gone out of his way to get stuff back. A couple times he's gotten back to me within a day that he's already contacted all of his clubs. And so Ken, I just shout out to you for that, and to all of you for serving. You know, I've been there. I've done that. I'm now supposed to be your coordinator, your point person. But I really appreciate the work you guys are doing, because I think the AG role is overused sometimes and underrated in the fact that we are oftentimes the district governor's mouthpiece, the person who puts his wishes and his ideas to the forefront for these clubs. And we're also the person I found out when all that issue with gun rights came up a couple years ago. We're also the ones that field a lot of those questions from, at that time, there was a lot of presidents that were calling me and they were pissed, to put it mildly, and I had to lay those fears. So it is an important role, and I want to thank you for what you all are doing. So, with that, I think we're done. Anybody else have anything they want to add?
Jerry, don't you have a carrot regarding RLI?
Excuse me?
I was asking Jerry, did he not have a carrot on the end of a stick regarding RLI? Aren't you going to pay for the tuition this year?
Oh, Jerry, you're still muted.
Yes, he's asking about, we're going to pay for the RLI for folks. Say a word about that, Howard. You know that better than I do.
I get the mute unmute button right. So because we're not having to pay for hotels and lunches and all those things, the budget that at least the two current governors, or district governor and district governor elect, have said that they will budget that money, and anybody who participates in this Sunshine program and completes Section 1 or Section 2 or Section 3, that we will completely reimburse their tuition costs. So they basically can go to RLI for free, which is a big deal, because in the past, you know, like I said, and as you know, those of you who participated in it, you not only have the tuition costs, but you're paying out of pocket, unless your club somehow has the money to budget it for you. You're paying out of pocket for sometimes a hotel room, your gas, all your other expenses, meals going up and coming back. So it really is a heck of an incentive, and thank you for pointing that out. That is another reason to promote it and to encourage them to use it.
I would have recorded this, and I'm going to send it out to those AGs that were not present tonight. So just to let you know.
Thank you all. There being no further business, I hear motion to adjourn. Yeah. Cheers and amen. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Bruce
you.
and Howard, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Cheers and amen.
Amen.
Anybody need to stay on for any reason?
No, sir.
All right, good night.
Thank you, Bruce, for helping set this up.
Yes, sir.